everybody, let's do some planning today. Hey everybody, so I made this little countdown to Christmas calendar-like thingy. I made this for a craft exchange that I have every Black Friday with my planner friends. We make something inexpensive that we just give to each other. It's a craft exchange in short, and we usually use a lot of planner and scrapbooking supplies. So this is last year I made happy planner ornaments, and you can check that out. I have a video, a DIY video on that. And then, so I'm going to have to make another one of these. So I thought I'd film myself making one. I'm going to make a lot of changes. I made a lot of mistakes with this one being the first time that I was making it. So now I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to fix all the mistakes that I had and hopefully make a better one. So I used some cardstock, but it's not too thick. It can't be thick because I need to punch holes in it. If you have a crocodile, I did use a crocodile, but I didn't really need to. I thought I was going to use a crocodile, but I didn't have to with this cardstock. So this kind of worked out great. This cardstock came from the back of scrapbook paper. Like, actually, you could probably use the back of, if you separate your stickers, you could probably use the back of this, like this kind of, take a sticker book and use this. But this was blank on both sides, which is why I liked it. I'm sure you have something around the house. I'm going to measure it for you to see how much. This is a smaller size than the original one I made because I thought that these numbers were too far apart. I wanted to make it a little bit smaller so the numbers could be a little bit closer together. So I tried that. So I did this this is 3.5 inches. And let's see what the length is. About 11.5 inches. So 3 by 11.5 inches, and then folded the middle. And then I folded on each section exactly 1.5 inches on each side. And then I folded them together like this. You don't really have to keep dimensions. I just eyeballed it. I don't think it's necessary to take measurements, but if you are that kind of person, if you just have that type A personality, those are your dimensions. So 11.5 by 3, folded it in the middle. I used the scoring board, but you really don't need one. And then I folded these edges about 1.5 inches in. So what I'm going to do now is tape these together using, this is a Tombow adhesive roller, but just about any adhesive that you have would do. It doesn't have to be particularly strong. This is not something that has to last years, unless you want it to. So I'm just going to adhere that like so. And that way it will stand. So the way it's a little bit wonky, so I'm gonna have it turn this way. And I put some lines. The next one I cut out some green squares. Now for the squares, I use the Mombi punch. This is the classic punch. And these boxes are the same size as the boxes in the classic planner. I put some lines where I want them to lay, like so. So that's about, let's measure that, 1/2 inch. It's 1/2 inch from the top. Then I'm gonna take my hole puncher and I'm gonna punch holes because I can't use here, I'll show you this. I can't use my Mombi punch because it won't go through. It won't go through this thicker cardstock, but I will use it to punch holes in these things. So I'm gonna take a regular hole puncher and I'm going to punch it as far down as it can go because I want the numbers to hang down a little lower than they did here. So, and I'm gonna center it from each card. So I have 1 hole and then 2 holes. All right, so now the discs have to go through. So how I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm going to cut so it looks like the opening of the discs. I'm gonna make it a little wider. And I'm going to use classic discs for this one because it is far down. I don't even know if this is gonna work yet. I haven't tried it before. Let's see. I'm gonna take an eraser first and erase these lines that I made. See, I eyeballed this project and it didn't turn out. So this time I did measure and put lines on it, but then I have to erase it. All right, so let's see how that looks with the discs. See how they look. It doesn't look exactly like, you know, like a Mambi punch, but let's see if I can even put these in. Yikes, it's a little tight. Oh, no, it fits perfect. Okay. And see, they're long. These classic ones are big enough to go down. I don't know if that a smaller one would fit all the way down. You can use the smaller ones. Obviously, they worked here because it was closer to the top. But I wanted these to hang down a little bit lower. So now I'm going to punch some of the, now what you have to do when you're punching, you just have to eyeball it and make sure that the hole is in the center. So that's basic. Well, it's not exact and they won't be exact, but there you go. You can't even tell that it's not exact. So there's one, and I'm gonna do the next one. I have to turn it this way so I can really see. You can use any color cardstock. I wanted them to look kind of similar, but not the same. So I thought I'd do one green and one red. So here we go. So here I am punching out all the boxes. I called them squares before. I do know my shapes, I promise you. I don't know what made me say squares. Anyway, I'm punching them out, and 3 of them will go on the left side and 10 of them will go on the right side. Just because I'm doing it in December, I'm gonna count from 25 downward. I mean, you could do it for the whole year. You could do it for a birthday countdown, any kind of special event you want to count down. I think this is a great project to do with kids, and they can write in the numbers themselves and decorate it. And it's a cool way to use those discs that are not currently in any of your planners, that you're just hoarding, not serving any purpose. So I'm punching out the rest of these cards. Oh, it looks like I needed one more. So here I'm punching them out. This is the classic sized punch, by the way, if I didn't make that clear. I think I just needed a few extra. And there we go. This punch, by the way, I had to borrow from a friend. So thank you, Nancy, for letting me borrow it. I actually have the Levenger punch, the travel size one, which is really nice because you can take it anywhere. It's very light, but I do prefer using this one now that I have it. My friend lent it to me and I really like it. I may just go out and get one. So now I'm just finishing up the last few cards of my countdown. And now comes the fun part. I'm taking out these Mambi stickers. These are the kind of stickers that you find in the scrapbook aisle, not the planner aisle. So keep a lookout on them. They're really cool. This is a great size for this project, and they kind of shine, so they're kind of Christmas-like. So now the film skips to when I have all my numbers in place. I got a phone call and I didn't realize that it was no longer recording. Anyway, all the numbers are in place, and now I'm gonna start to decorate. I have the student sticker book that came out this summer. Has one page, the seasonal edition has one page of Christmas stickers, of Christmas icons. So I'm going to use those to decorate. I'm looking at these holly strips, and I think I'm going to put one of them on the top and one on the bottom. But first I'm going to put that Christmas sticker. Now that was from Christmas Joy. It said Happy Christmas, and I just cut off the Christmas from the bottom to use, because I didn't want to have to use letter stickers and have to cut each one out. This made it so much simpler. So I'm cutting out that holly strips and I'm putting them on the top, and I'm cutting out the spaces where the discs, so I can put the discs back in. There you go, and I'm going to re-put those discs into place with the hanging numbers. So now I'm going to have to spell out days until Christmas. So I'm going to use the alphabet sticker book and just write days until Christmas. It's pretty straightforward. And then after I do that, I think I'm going to add another strip of holly to fill up the space between the letters and the numbers. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Now, I personally am not too afraid of my letters being completely straight, but if you are one of those type A people, you can put them on a ruler and use that to keep your letters straight. I demonstrate that in one of my other videos. It's a pretty popular method for scrapbookers. They've been doing it for years. But at this point, I just want to get this done. And it's just more fun for me to freeform it and just to eyeball it. I do not like to measure. And I don't mind if things aren't perfect. Definitely not a perfectionist. And if you look really closely at these two projects, you'd know that. But I am going to cut off the extra sticker at the end there. So now I'm going to look, I find another one of those holly strips, and I'm going to put that under the numbers. After that sticker is in place, I think that my project is finished, and now all I have to do is worry about how I'm going to package it, because my friends are always super good at packaging their craft exchanges, and they're so clever about it, and it's so beautiful. So now that's what I have to think about. Here are my Christmas countdowns that I'll be giving to my friends. Thanks for watching so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like to see my Instagram account, it's Twinkle Plans Her Day. Thanks so much for watching.